Morgan and Ben Shapiro's analysis on it.
Reaching the end of Western civilization when women parade around naked on OnlyFans and then justify that activity by saying that, sure, mom was a prostitute, but now you, child, you'll have a nice car. Okay, so Piers Morgan.
I'm gonna right off the bat, I'm gonna say something, okay? What Ben Shapiro does for a living is 1,000,000 times worse on the planet than any OnlyFans content creator, including like, you know, foot fetishists and shit like that. Okay? This OnlyFans content creator is what? Posting titties and shit. People are jerking off to it. Great. She's bringing joy into the world. Ben Shapiro, on the other hand, is quite literally spending every fucking waking moment making the world a worse place for his own children. Like, even on, you know, even something as simple as like denying climate change. Like, your children are going to you live in that world, you fucking idiot. The unimaginable amount of hateful things that Ben Shapiro has spread, hateful concepts that Ben Shapiro has spread, that will make the world a worse place for his children. It's hilarious to compare it to like an OnlyFans content creator.
Morgan had on his show recently an OnlyFans model. Okay, an OnlyFans model is what we used to call a porn person, a pornographer person, a porn star. That's what we used to call them. Just people get naked for money. And now we pretend that they are legitimate parts of the economy. That's what we do now, which brings to mind the old apocryphal quote that has been attributed to both Winston Churchill and Oscar Wilde. Supposedly, we'll use Churchill for this example. He was talking to a lady at some sort of fancy event, and he asked her, "Would you sleep with me for £1,000,000?" And she said, "I'd have to think about it." He said, "Would you sleep with me for £1?" And she said, "How dare you, sir?" He said, we've already established what you are. We're now just haggling over the price. Well, this came to mind because this OnlyFans model was on with Piers Morgan. He's like, what do you think you're
fucking own, dude? Yeah, what do you mean? You just kind of argued that it's like, yeah, it's a profession. Like, that joke only works when you're like, oh yeah, it's bad that you're a prostitute. I doubt either of those people said that. It could be Winston Churchill, though. He used to say shit like that all the time, I think, right? "Oh, you're a lush," says the lady overseeing Winston Churchill. "Well, I'll be sober tomorrow, but you'll still be ugly," says Winston Churchill. You know, that kind of shit. He was fast like that.
Your kids are one day going to think of the fact that mommy was making money by showing her breasts to random men on the internet. And here was her answer.
Online strippers just, you know, naked. I do things that are way more grotesque than
just
that.
Pornography.
Pornography, anything, but it's all within.
The funniest thing is, like, again, just like Ben Shapiro, Piers Morgan, objective burden on society. Objectively an awful, like, beacon of horrifying information. Just a bad guy in general, okay? Your net output is making society worse, okay? If you went away tomorrow, society would be better. If all OnlyFans girls went away tomorrow, society would be worse overall. Like, why? Why is that an issue, you know? They're just showing titties, man. Fucking calm down.
What I want to do, and I absolutely love it, and I'm really good at it. You know, I could be a good lawyer, yes, but also, am I good at doing other things on video and camera?
How would you feel when you want to have kids yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't really want kids right now. But at
you
least
will do. How old are you?
25.
Right, so you will do at some stage, probably, right?
Maybe.
When you do, you're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, "Didn't you want to be a lawyer, Mummy? What happened?"
Yeah.
And you go, "Yeah, but look at all my stuff."
They can cry in a Ferrari.
Oh, they can cry in
He's mad that she's making money, dude. That's so funny.
Ferrari. So the money is what's going to make it up to them. I just have some news for you. It isn't. It isn't. It turns out that kids who are rich, but their parents are really screwed up, they remain incredibly screwed up.
Oh, well, you're fucking rich, Ben. Pretty sure your kids are going to be incredibly screwed up, not because you are rich, but because, you know, you're Ben Shapiro.
That's the way this works. And there is something wrong with the idea that a woman should value her own accomplishment in getting men to be aroused as they are at, you know, their intellectual accomplishments. Not to sound like too much of a...
That woman, I think, literally went to law school, by the way. I don't know if Ben will talk more about the interview or instead we'll just like endlessly ramble. But I saw bits and pieces of that Piers Morgan interview, and I'm pretty sure she fucking went to law school and then chose to do this instead because this made a lot more money and she likes doing it. So the idea that she is incapable just because she's doing OnlyFans content, that she's fucking incapable of doing anything else, is hilarious.
A feminist here, but it turns out that women are more than their body parts. I know, it's crazy. Women actually have inherent dignity as human beings. And when they simply unclothe themselves for the perverse pleasure of random men sitting in their pathetic basements and
perverse pleasure of random men sitting in their pathetic basements. Man, not everyone can fucking watch like Palestinian teenager gets trick shotted by IDF sniper compilations to fucking jerk off, okay? You freak. Again, significantly worse on society. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude, okay? Jesus Christ.
and paying the money, they are doing harm to their souls. They are doing harm to their very beings. They may pretend that it's a matter of just personal freedom and all of the rest, but it turns out that consent is not the only value. People consent to do bad things to themselves all the time.
Yeah, again, it's like, dude, you already said your wife's pussy is fucking drier than the Sahara Desert, okay? You probably after the entire fucking internet clowned on you for your lack of sexual prowess, should have decided to never talk about sex again. But here you are talking about sex again. So what will we do? Well, we'll remind everybody that, you can't get your wife wet. And you unironically once tweeted out that your wife, who's a doctor, by the way, if she was wet, that would be a medical condition. You know what I mean? It's like, I know the immediate counter always is, oh, you're porn sick. You're defending porn because you're like a gross pervert or whatever. Like, no, okay? I've had more sex than most of you will have for the rest of your fucking lives, okay? And I still consume pornographic material from time to time. There's nothing fucking wrong with that. Calm the fuck down. It's always dudes who are just like on this psychotic edge where they're talking about how like their porn consumption got so out of hand and it ruined their fucking lives. And now they got to make it everybody else's problem. Like, chill out, dude, okay? No different than like jerking off to a sexy scene in a fucking movie when you think about it at the end of the day.
Time, and we don't like it as a society. When people inject themselves with heroin, that is consensual activity. It also happens to be very, very bad for them. A society that basically boils down its morality to the virtue of consent is a society that has lost all notion of good and bad. People have consented to evil activity for literally all of time. And it isn't evil to unclothe before random men for money. It is bad for you. It is bad for them. It undermines the very idea that women should be looked upon with anything more than simple lust. It's a perversity. And the fact that she says, oh, I'm really, really good at it. Okay, I check. Seriously, as a dude, let me tell you what it takes for a beautiful.
This dude just has an issue with consent, okay? That's what it is. That's what it is. Why is it bad, dude? Explain why it's bad.
Beautiful woman to be good at being naked. Being naked. That's what it takes. Wow, she's amazing at it. Wow, look at her extraordinary skill in being naked. She's amazing at being like, come on. Come on. I'm not a fan of the comedian Amy Schumer because frankly, she hasn't been funny for a very long time. But she did have a line at one point that I think was accurate and speaks to this. She said, you know the difference between girls and guys? A guy goes to the bar and he's lucky if he can pick up a girl. She says, I'm overweight.
Dude, I would. I need a compilation of Ben Shapiro trying to describe jokes. Ben Shapiro trying to retell a joke is like a fucking alien. It's like me trying to constantly explain what a joke is and why you should laugh to this fucking chat anytime someone says something remotely edgy.
I don't look amazing right now, but I can, this is her phrase, catch a dick anytime I want to, right? That was Amy Schumer's phrase. And let me just be realistic about this. That is absolutely true. The CEO of Innovation Refunds and GetRefunds.com has been on TV very significant differences. That you cannot find a man to have sex with you is absurd because the differences between the male sexual instinct and the female sexual instinct are incredibly large. Those are very significant differences.
Porn is a danger to men and women. Yeah, I'm not as weak as you, I think. That's what it is. Get stronger, nerd. If porn is a danger to both men and women, you're just basically telling on yourself. You're just a fucking weak person. You got soft hands, little boy. Okay? That's a skill issue, my man.
As I've said before, when it comes to sex, women need a reason. Men just need a time and a place. So the notion that she is like somehow freeing herself. Now, maybe it gives her a sense of control over these men. Maybe it gives her a sense that she has more power in the universe. But that power belongs to pretty much any woman. It's just that she is the only person who is willing to subject herself to vile gazes in order to make money.
Vile gazes.
Which is a bad thing to do. It makes you a not particularly good person.
Why?
So when people say things like,
why? He hasn't said why. He just exclusively keeps repeating that it's bad. Why is it bad? Why? At least like most fucking tanky swerves on fucking Twitter make like a decent argument about why sex work is like inherently exploitative and, you know, it's bad. And, you know, there's like people are coerced under capitalism across the board. And in this circumstance, they're coerced to do sex work to make ends meet and all this shit. Ben literally is just like, it's a sin. It's a sin. It's bad because it's a sin. It's bad because it makes my penis feel some way. Okay? It's bad because it gave me a boner. It's bad because I say so. And yeah, here.
be new on this cover. Then you'll also have Hillary Duff, who is on the cover of Women's Health. Now, Hillary Duff looks like a sort of stereotypical model beauty. Okay, she's on the cover of Women's Health magazine, totally nude. And she looks like a model. Right? I mean, there's not an ounce of fat on her.
Yeah, Ben doesn't have a problem gazing at the fucking female body in the nude when he is making an argument against like fat women, okay? That's the point. Yeah, he has no like real consistent take on the matter. He's just like, he's exclusively in it to just be like women bad. Women having some kind of autonomy over what they choose to do with their own bodies is a bad concept. I don't like it because porn is bad.
Someone who embarked on a law career was...
Oh yeah, here, this is the law career moment. I swear, y'all see women as incubators because why are you asking her about hypothetical children that do not exist? She is not just a pre-mom or pre-wife. Yeah, 100%. Blocked? Yeah, always. Come on. As like a big non-binary Twitter account. If you think that I'm not going to be fucking blocked by, someone that is prominent on they, them Twitter, I don't know what to tell you. You know my ass is blocked, okay? Pre-blocked, post-blocked, all types of blocked. Account named non-binary booty, 100%. They saw something and were like, oh, this person is the worst person. This person is a fascist. Block. Who cares? Yeah, I don't know why nobody's asking fucking Piers Morgan what his children will think of him being an absolute parasite on society. They should ask him.
It's like
that.
sex work is work. Well, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's the worst kind of work. In the most derogatory sense of work. But that does not mean that it is a good thing to do, that you are playing an equal part in the economy, in the progress of humanity, if you work as a lawyer or as a coder, as if you take off your clothes on camera for a bunch of incels living in their basements to you. It's not the same thing. And when she says that, don't worry, she's going to make it up to her kid because she's going to buy him a Ferrari, again, the notion that you can supplant with material things morality is absurd. And it's a mistake that our entire culture is making right now. In fact, there was a study from the Wall Street Journal fairly recently, we talked about on the show, looking at what Americans now think about being American, what they think is important. Things like parenthood are in steep decline. It used to be that a huge percentage of Americans said that like one of the most important things about being a good person and being a good American was having kids and having a family and getting married. And now the thing they think about the most is material well-being, meaning like earning, how much money I make. Well, there's nothing wrong with thinking about how much money you make when that is in service to a higher goal. Money is instrumental. But we have now come to the point, I think, in Western civilization where money, because morality is no longer an object, because we've dispensed with the ideas of good and bad, we've now decided that money is no longer instrumental. Money is a measurement of are you good or bad as a person. It's like an objective. It's like a video game. The more money you have in the bank, the more Ferraris you can buy your kids. It no longer matters.
Ben Shapiro literally is just like, wow, I hate capitalism because it has allowed sex workers to make money, female sex workers in general.
Whether you are being a prostitute on camera. What really matters is that you can buy the Ferrari for your kid. Materialism has become its own goal. The money, which...
Dude, you're literally like an omega capitalist. What the fuck is happening right now? I genuinely do not understand how... Oh, God. If you want to know what a conservative... if you know how quickly a conservative free market capitalist will drop every fucking thing, just, you know... Ask them how they feel when, like, a sex worker makes money. Immediately, they're like, well, the work conditions are bad, actually. It's like, no, OnlyFans models, not really. They get more autonomy than they would in any other fucking job. And also, money isn't everything, actually. What the fuck? Gelmedi. Sen söyle adamlara. Thank you.
It used to be good for, you know, buying things for your kids because you, within the context of a strong family structure, or getting a nice house that you can have more kids, or giving a lot of charity, or building businesses to hire people. Money as an instrumental, useful thing. That has been transformed into money as a thing of inherent value. And once money becomes a thing of inherent value, then it does become an immoral thing. If you treat money...
Porn fuels sex trafficking, and we all knew it. We all know it, yeah. Respectfully, what have you seen the data on porn? There's new studies. It's a danger and can cause a lot of harm to people in a lot of ways. I've been a long-time sub. I'm just saying. Dude, you're not the first long-time sub that has had anti-sex work takes that fucking pops off in the chat, and you definitely will not be the last. I know. Some of the common damaging aspects of pornography for users can include addiction, isolation, increased aggression, distorted beliefs and perceptions about relationships and sexuality, negative feelings about themselves, and neglecting other areas of their lives. Yeah, dude. I don't know anything about this study, but I'm willing to bet that it was like fucking funded by some psychotic Christian, like fundamentalist movement. There are plenty of them that have been launched in recent years. And ultimately, once again, porn does not have like a physiological addictive property, okay? Like, you're not getting addicted to Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Or if you are, you're getting addicted to it in the same way that you're getting addicted to pornography, except, you know, if the Mormon group that funded this Fight the New Drug study funded that one, everyone would look at them and go, you guys are fucking freaks. Shut the fuck up. Let's see. They always call themselves, by the way, they always call themselves nonprofit and secular, but they're not secular, okay? Fight the New Drug. Nonprofit, secular, non-legislative anti-pornography organization that's based in Utah. Oh, boy. Huh. Interesting. That's interesting. The root of harmful effects resulting from consuming pornography comes from religious beliefs that give moral disapproval. Then people without a religious affiliation, including agnostics and atheists, would be free from struggles with porn, right? Wrong. No, porn actually hits you even if you're secular. FTNT has been criticized as holding an openly ideology-driven strategy. In the group's message in particular, its categorization of porn as a drug, as pseudoscience, contradictory to neuroscience research. The group has been alleged to be an example of continued influence by LDS church members over social issues. For example, in their use of billboards in San Francisco intentionally to target a progressive region. In a Salt Lake Tribune op-ed, a group of sex therapists said that the FTND's leaders and presenters were not mental health or sexuality professionals and were promoting false information and failing to educate children about their sexuality and human development, or the positive as well as the negative aspects of porn. Emily F. Rothman, professor of community health sciences at Boston University School of Public Health, stated in 2021 that the professional public health community is not behind the recent push to declare pornography a public health crisis. That took me... Fuck, we should have timed it. That took me approximately 33 seconds to find. So now, what you're supposed to do is go back and internalize that information, especially at the top of the hour where there's a 3-minute ad break. You're going to have 3 fucking whole minutes to think why you didn't do any additional research on this and proceeded to tell me that it's actually a secular organization based in Utah, and how none of those things immediately triggered red flags in your mind, and why you did not choose personally to subscribe for $5 or for free at the top of the hour, as you've done so for the past 33 months. Okay? Or get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Bottom G, thank you for the 10 gifted subs, allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's the free minute ad break now. But yeah, just ask yourself why you did not conduct additional research on the institutes that you are, or the institutions that you are bringing studies from. Anonymous gifter, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Okay, so there's alcohol. So does alcohol. Does that mean we should criminalize alcohol? Like the fuck, Lamau? It's one of those, that's a you problem and you need help. Not let's criminalize it. LMFAL. I mean, we did try doing that one time and it fucking demonstrably was a failure. So I don't know why people think that like further criminalization instead of decriminalization of sex work is the right move. We have tried and failed to criminalize this kind of shit. Prohibition was, you know, an abject failure. Where's that guy? I want to know what he has to say about this. Hopefully, this is a learning moment, a learning opportunity for you instead of, you know, can't afford, sorry, and I mean it in all respect, as someone who was personally impacted by the porn industry and abused, but it is what it is. Sorry for voicing my own concerns. I won't again. Okay, don't do this thing either. Like, I'm not, you know, belittling you or anything like that. First, you said it was a non-religious organization, and then you said, so when you realize that it is a religious organization, that implies to me that you have, stop adding this person and saying L nerd or whatever, okay? Stop. Here's what actually happened. Due to your either personal experiences, most likely due to your personal experiences, you developed a distaste for it, and then you went seeking things that confirm your biases. You went seeking information that confirms your biases without actually doing additional research on these institutions, additional research on the possible, you know, on the actual data that might completely eviscerate whatever this thing is, okay? Whatever this data is that you're showing me. And And that's how you justify it within yourself that you're absolutely correct. What you're supposed to do in this situation is potentially do what I just did and see if this is an institution that is in some way, shape, or form, a bunch of religious zealots or whatever the fuck. And whether or not porn does have any fucking real adverse effects. Whenever people say I did my research, what they actually mean is I fucking went down a rabbit hole that confirmed my biases. Someone force-fed this information to me. It made me feel more comfortable with the opinions that I already held. I was genuinely wondering if you always thought this way about this topic. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? I was a fucking teenager. I was a young boy once, dude. I was absolutely the very same hypocritical teenager that most young men are. Consumers of pornography who literally fucking belittle the sex workers that create it, who think that they're like lesser than, who use it as an own, who think like, oh, dude, you're a fucking whore. You're a prostitute. 1,000,000%. Are you kidding me? Of course I was. And then I grew up. Well, I also dated a sex worker, which genuinely helped me develop a better understanding of it. But sex workers are just people, just like anyone else, making a living. They go through the same shit